Throughout the long and storied history of the National Basketball Association, there have been a select few teams that have established themselves as true dynasties. These teams have gone above and beyond by winning multiple championships and dominating the league for extended periods of time. Today, we take a look back at the greatest NBA dynasties in history and rank them from 1 to 10. From the original Boston Celtics dynasty of the 1950s and 60s to the modern-day Golden State Warriors, these are the 10 greatest dynasties in NBA history. Number 10. Boston Celtics, 1957 to 1969. The Boston Celtics of the late 1950s and 1960s were a dominant dynasty that won 9 championships in 12 years, including 8 consecutive titles from 1959 to 1966. Led by legendary head coach Red Auerbach, the Celtics featured some of the greatest players of all time, such as Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, John Havlicek, and K.C. Jones. Auerbach developed a fast-paced offense driven by Cousy's ball-handling abilities and Russell's defensive prowess. The Celtics' run of dominance ended in 1966-67, when they finished third in the Eastern Division and their streak of 8 consecutive championships was broken. However, their legacy as one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history lives on. Number 9. Los Angeles Lakers, 1971 to 1988. The Los Angeles Lakers had a dominant dynasty from 1971 to 1988, winning 8 NBA championships led by Hall of Famers Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy. They reached the finals 11 times in those 17 years, an impressive feat considering the league only had 22 teams at the time. The Showtime Lakers of the 1980s are considered one of the greatest teams in NBA history. Magic Johnson was a remarkable leader and point guard, while Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was an unstoppable center, and James Worthy provided leadership, hustle, and scoring. The Lakers dynasty set a standard for championship teams, and their success and influence on the game will always be remembered. Number 8. Chicago Bulls, 1991 to 1998. The Chicago Bulls of the 1990s, led by Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, were a dominant NBA dynasty. They won 6 championships, including 3 consecutive championships from 1991 to 1993 and 3 consecutive championships from 1996 to 1998. During their dynasty, the Bulls had a winning percentage of .733, made the playoffs every season, and had one of the best defenses in the NBA. Jordan was a prolific scorer, averaging over 30 points per game in each of the first 7 seasons of the dynasty, while Pippen and Rodman provided excellent all-around play and rebounding ability. The Bulls' legacy as one of the greatest teams in NBA history will live on for generations to come. Number 7. San Antonio Spurs, 1999 to 2014. The Bob Cousy dominated the NBA from 1999 to 2014, winning 5 championships in that span. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili formed the team's core and were instrumental in their success. The trio led the Spurs to 4 titles between 1999 and 2014, earning the nickname Big Three. The team posted a winning record in all 15 seasons and made the playoffs every year. In the 2003-04 season, they had a record of 67-15, which is still the best in franchise history. The Spurs played a beautiful brand of basketball, focused on ball movement and unselfish play, making them one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. Number 6. Golden State Warriors, 2015-present. The Golden State Warriors won 3 championships in 5 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals between 2015 and 2019, led by the core 4 of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. They were also supplemented by key veterans such as David West, Sean Livingston, and Andrew Bogut. The Warriors' offensive firepower was led by Curry's incredible shooting ability, and they are widely considered to be the greatest shooting team ever assembled. Their aggressive defensive style allowed them to create turnovers and get out in transition, while making it difficult for opponents to score. Despite their relatively short dynasty, the Warriors have cemented their place among the greatest dynasties of all time and will be remembered as one of the best teams in NBA history. Number 5. Detroit Pistons, 2004 to 2008. Led by legendary coach Larry Brown and stars such as Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Rasheed Wallace, the Detroit Pistons were one of the most successful teams in NBA history between 2004 to 2008. The Pistons won the NBA championship in 2004, becoming just the second team ever to sweep the finals, followed by an Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 2005 and a finals trip in 2006. The Pistons also made 4 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals, establishing themselves as one of the premier teams in the NBA. Their tenacious defense earned them the nickname the Going-to-Work Pistons. Although the Pistons eventually lost steam after 2008, their 5-year run was one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history, with a defensive identity and dominance that defined the 2000s. Number 4. Miami Heat, 2010 to 2014. Led by superstars LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, the Miami Heat had one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history, winning 2 championships in 4 seasons between 2010 to 2014. In 2011, the team won the NBA championship, defeating the Dallas Mavericks in 6 games, and in 2012 they cemented their place as one of the greatest dynasties of all time by winning the championship against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The following season saw them win their 3rd consecutive championship, beating the San Antonio Spurs in 7 games. The Heat became the first team since Michael Jordan's Bulls to reach 4 straight finals appearances in the 2014 season, but lost to the Spurs in 5 games. However, the team's success over those 4 years will always be remembered as one of the greatest runs in NBA history. Number 3. Houston Rockets, 1993 to 1995. The Houston Rockets dynasty from 1993 to 1995 is often overlooked when talking about the greatest dynasties in NBA history. During this 3-year stretch, the Rockets won 2 consecutive championships and cemented their place in NBA lore. Led by Hall of Famers Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and Charles Barkley, the Rockets captured back-to-back titles in 1994 and 1995. The Rockets won a franchise-best 62 games and captured the Midwest Division title for a 2nd consecutive year in 1995. The team again cruised through the playoffs and, led by Olajuwon's MVP performance, captured their 2nd consecutive championship. The legacy of the Houston Rockets dynasty remains firmly in place. In addition to winning 2 championships, they established a culture of winning that has continued to this day. Their accomplishments will continue to be remembered as one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. Number 2. Baltimore Bullets, 1968 to 1974. The Baltimore Bullets were a dominant force in the NBA during their run from 1968 to 1974. Led by future Hall of Famers Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes, the Bullets reached the playoffs 6 straight times, appearing in 4 NBA Finals and winning their lone championship in 1970. Unseld, the team's bruising center, won Rookie of the Year and MVP honors during the championship season. Hayes, a high-scoring power forward, was named Finals MVP in the title-winning series against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bullets' success was a testament to their balanced attack and suffocating defense, as they finished in the top 3 in the league in points allowed per game in 5 of their 6 playoff runs. Despite their accomplishments, the Bullets dynasty remains largely overlooked in NBA lore, but their sustained excellence in a highly competitive era deserves recognition. Number 1. New York Knicks, 1970 to 1973. The New York Knicks dynasty of the early 1970s was a powerhouse in the NBA, led by their talented and cohesive roster. Led by legendary coach Red Holzman, the Knicks featured a lineup that included Hall of Famers Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Dave Derbyshire, and Earl Monroe. During their run from 1970 to 1973, the Knicks made 3 straight NBA Finals appearances and won 2 championships in 1970 and 1973. The team was known for their defensive intensity and unselfish play on offense, which was showcased in their thrilling 7-game series victory over the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1970 Finals. The Knicks' success during this era solidified them as one of the greatest NBA dynasties of all time, and their impact on the league is still felt to this day. Thanks for staying with us till the end. Please like and subscribe to our channel to watch more such videos.